I mean, I have a trick, and my trick is I always wear red lipstick and sunglasses and put my hair back in a chignon, and it kind of has the illusion of polished look, but underneath the sunglasses I have no makeup on, and sometimes under my coat I have nothing on. A lot of times I'm notorious for going to the grocery store with nothing on under my coat.
Really? That's amazing.
I just don't feel like choosing a dress. It's too much trouble. I just think, you go naked under here.
That's brilliant. Have you ever gone out naked in your coat and forgotten that you had nothing under and tried on button?
No, I always remember. I'm not an exhibitionist at all. I would never want to. I would never let anyone
embarrass a lady in a grocery
although
store.
I have definitely showed up at some front doors of my lover's house wearing my trench coat with my lingerie underneath. I've definitely been known to do that.
Wow, I'm sure they weren't complaining. Do you look at other women and think, how can you walk around looking so drab?
I just think it's a bit of, I think it's become kind of acceptable to go out, and I think it's kind of bad manners not to brush your hair before you go out, I know a lot of people don't have that much time to get ready and spend time in front of the mirror, but I think if you, for me, I don't have to spend more than 15 minutes to get out of the house looking polished, but that's because I do it all the time and I practice it. It's like you can't just. I think it's important to choose those things that make you feel good and that are minimalist, and to do it every day. It's kind of like self-respect.
Right. So burlesque in particular has a sort of reputation. I know that often says that sort of anyone can do it. You don't have to be small. You don't have to be beautiful. Do you think that's true, that any woman can be glamorous and sexy? Because some people just aren't very sexy.
I think that one of my favorite games to play when I'm walking down the street or when I'm bored at the airport or something, I play this game where I find one beautiful thing about every person.
That's so
and
nice.
It's a really fun game, and you'll find that you can definitely find something that is beautiful about everyone. So I would say, I don't think everyone is meant to be on stage doing a burlesque show. There are beautiful, beautiful girls that have no business being up there doing a burlesque show. It's not just about what you look like. It's like there are people that aren't very beautiful that do a wonderful, wonderful show. So when it comes to like who should be on stage doing a burlesque show, it's not about youth or beauty or any of those things. It's about stage presence and being able to captivate an audience for the amount of time that you need to.
So people have a very different attitude to stripping and to burlesque, which isn't entirely logical, is it? Do you think there is a real difference, and why do people have such a different opinion?
I know, that's a question I get asked so much, is like, what's the difference between stripping and burlesque? And the answer is nothing. If you were sitting here with Gypsy Rosalie right now in the 40s and you asked her that, she would be completely baffled by that question, because stars of a burlesque show were strippers, and wasn't a bad word back then. So I understand now, it's kind of become a taboo, and people sometimes have negative connotations with strippers. But, I got my start working in a strip club, and I would have never created the burlesque shows that I do if I hadn't worked in a strip club, where I wanted to know more about the history of what I was doing, and that's how I sort of discovered burlesque.
This is something I'm really interested in. To be Dita Von Teese, do you ever feel like it's this kind of huge pressure? When you meet a guy, is it just this enormous pressure to be, incredibly glamorous and sexy? And what if you just want to have boring sex and wear your manky period pants?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, manky. Did you say manky period pants? That's my favorite phrase of the day. I think, when I'm with somebody, I can tell when I'm with somebody who really cares about me for me, and they like seeing me both dressed and stripped down, the vulnerable side of me, and that's like something in my relationships it's really precious to me to be able to be that way and not have to live up to an image. And I've been really lucky that I think for the past 10 years I've been with men that generally like both sides of it. They encourage me to be, the femme fatale and live up to my image, but then, they also love the part of me that is stripped down and just wants to bake cookies and wear no makeup.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like it's so funny because when you wear garter belts and stockings every day, it kind of becomes old hat for men, and then they're just excited to see those manky people you can't see you're talking about. They're like, wow, I've never seen you in those underwear before. Those are amazing. So there is something. It's a real thing when you condition people and they see the same thing all the time. Just having something different is exciting. So
bring out the manky period. Do you find that when you're out in bars and stuff, are men very intimidated to come up and talk to you?
Yeah, I've discovered in the past 10 years, I found it increasingly difficult to meet men because I've heard, because I've obviously asked around about it, why is it so hard for me to meet men? And people will tell me, they're like, you're really intimidating to them. And it's hard for me to understand because I'm really shy, and my look doesn't really go. It doesn't jive with. I'm not much of a. I'm not very aggressive when I see a guy I like. I'm still the girl that's like, oh my God, you're so good. I get really nervous. What am I going to do?
That's so surprising.
Yeah. I don't have a plan on how to seduce someone that I don't know. So that could be a reason that I'm been in lots of long-term relationships. I'm not a very good dater. I'm really shy.
You must have had guys sort of pulling out all the stops to try and impress you as well. Have there been any sort of ridiculously grand gestures that come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's overload. I've dated men that send these huge gorgeous flower arrangements every day, and I started questioning is he gay? Flowers are really beautiful. Did he bake me a pie? That's a strange thing to do.
Going back to being shy, how is that reconciled with your career?
Yeah, a lot of people say, how can you be shy? But, I'm not shy at all about what I do for a living and making my show and going on stage. I don't feel any shyness that. That's I created it. I created all the rules for what I do. That I don't feel shy about, but I feel shy about when asked questions I don't know the answer to exactly. I feel shy in interviews like this when I don't know how to answer the question exactly right. I feel shy that I'm speaking in my funny American voice that some people make fun of, but
They won't. They won't. We won't let them.
Some people do, but it's I'm just I realize I built up an image and everything, but I try and I don't have any interest in changing my persona. I definitely have my shy moments right now where I'm trying to explain why I'm shy. I don't know.